I'm going to vote for the motion, but I have to say, I feel just being out in the public, there is a lot of people out there with misinformation. And I believe that after this year is over, the government and Nova Star both need to be a little more transparent on what's going on and how the taxpayers' dollars are being spent. And I think that will relieve a lot of pressure and the bad comments that are being put out there.
That was amazing. They had a good turnout, but the town of Yarmouth was dead. Nothing was open. We had a couple pharmacies open, we had a convenience store open, and we had one gift shop open. So to me, Your Worship, if we are going to be a tourist town, we've worked so hard, this council, the previous council, the International Ferry Partnership, to bring this gift to our community, and we just got a cardboard box. We haven't wrapped it. We don't have a bow on it because, I'm sorry folks, there ain't nothing to do. Now, I was at the Seafood Extravaganza on Sunday night, and kudos to the committee and people who worked hard at that. I was approached by an individual that runs an accommodation in this community. Came up to me and told me that he had 3 people check into his establishment in the afternoon at 4 o'clock. They came back an hour later and checked out. They said, we're going to pay our bill, but there's nothing here for us. And it was on a Sunday. There is nothing here for us. And they left. They paid their bills, and they left, and they went, I don't know where. I mean, that's the sort of thing we cannot afford to do. So last year, Your Worship, you...
I was in Kennebunkport, and I stood there, I have to say this, I stood there at 9:30 at night, with lineups at the ice cream places, with having to move aside at 9:30 at night so that the people could get into the shops. Everything was lit up, it was painted, it was cleaned, and the girl actually, it was Mrs. Arnold with the ship, and she said, are you okay? And she could see the look on my face, and I said, this is Yarmouth if we will just get our act together. And I will say this as well, that a lot of people, and I'll say it's the bad press, and some of it is Facebook. A lot of it comes out of there, and it's unfair, and it's a company that started late, and that has now, as you said, Sunday night, the numbers are there. I was on a ship, I was on it twice, and it was pretty packed. And to be surrounded by Americans and the Upper Canadians that are coming as well, that can't wait to get to Nova Scotia, and at 5 o'clock we're basically shut down, at the risk of letting down the tough guard, it just made me sad. So I will say this, we have everything it takes. We've got the people, we've got the basics, we've got the buildings. And I think with the facade program coming, a lot of people are going to get on board. I think with the numbers in the ship, that a lot of people are going to have maybe more courage to step up and open, and not only existing businesses, but maybe new businesses, because part of what you want to do, I'd love to have the landlords just to say, never mind a picture in a window, we need some businesses in there, and fill it up and open the doors and have the vendors and everything else, because the money that the people want to drop in this community is driving right out. And that's upsetting, given that we know exactly what we have. So that's just some of my...
I'm going to pour a little salt in someone's wound. I apologize. These are things that we don't want to hear, but we do have to. We have to face reality. Got an email from a bed and breakfast owner here, and who writes, I'm happy to report that I am doing extremely well with the traffic from the Nova Star. Have had several complaints from travelers about the early closing time of restaurants. The most recent from 2 couples from Florida traveling together, went out to dinner to a specific restaurant out here. They got there at 6:50 p.m. They were not permitted in, as they said they close at 7. So they came back into town, went to another restaurant here. They were turned away also because this restaurant was about to close in a very short while. They ended up going to a restaurant not of their particular wish and choosing, but they had to return to a restaurant where they had gone the night before because no other place was open. There was also no one on the street that they could ask, is there another restaurant open? It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. So they really didn't want to go back to the previous restaurant because of the extreme noise level, but they did anyway. Others have had the same complaint. After visitors have spent the day traveling around or getting here, they are not ready to go out to dinner until at least 6 or 7 or later. And even after dinner, visitors, when I go on vacation, if I'm a tourist somewhere and I have dinner, whether it's at 5 or 7 p.m., right afterwards, I certainly don't hightail it back to my hotel room and watch television. I go out shopping. That's what every blue-blooded, red-blooded North American woman is born to do. And the email closes with, other than that, things are good. P.S. might be a good idea if tourist operators had a list of restaurants and their closing times or when they stop allowing customers in. Yeah,